What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Average Bob, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about where it went wrong in the 2023 Giants season. But first, we'll get started with the quarterbacks, as a couple of quarterbacks did play this year after Jones went down with the ACL surgery. So for that, let's get started with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, after his 2022 season, was given a pretty substantial contract where he did not live up to any of that really in year one. And after going 1-5 in his starts in 2023, in a crazy turn of events, he was sacked 30 times. Throughout Daniel Jones' starts this season, he finished with 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And the offense when he played was very, very lackluster outside of trying to get Saquon going, who also was banged up at one point early on in the season after the Cardinals game. Daniel Jones really wasn't able to elevate the play around him, whether that would be the backup running back situation or even Waller, Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton. No one was really able to get going with Daniel Jones at the helm. And honestly, I will give Daniel Jones a ton of credit. He is a tough son of a bitch as he got his ass kicked. He was sacked on almost 16% of his dropbacks. And I remember a stat during the season that showed he had to get the ball out in less than 2 or 2.5 seconds or he would be sacked, which is literally kind of insane. How can you really expect anyone to do much with that? But again, some other teams around the league have issues and they're somehow able to make it work. When your quarterback, Daniel Jones, gets a big payday, that comes with additional pressures, especially from a leadership perspective. And he did not live up to that, unfortunately. Daniel Jones was tied for second in the team with rushing touchdowns, as he had over 200 rushing yards. Up next, let's talk about Tyrod Taylor, the long-standing veteran at 34 years old, who also went down with a couple injuries throughout the season. Similar to Darren Waller, seems to be like he's made out of glass at points, where he was sacked 17 times this year. He finished with a 2-3 record with 5 games started and did play in 11 total games and finished with 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Tyrod Taylor had a couple highs and lows this season. I would say some of his highs were actually able to throw the ball deep down the field and take shots, especially towards the end of the season. He had a lot of success throwing the ball deep to Darius Slayton, but it's kind of interesting to see for such a long-standing NFL vet to really not be able to complete any sort of short passes around 1 to 3 to 4 yards, where he would just throw it not even close to the running back. Evidence of that in the 2-point conversion in the Rams game when he threw it behind Saquon. Although Tyrod Taylor is a experienced veteran quarterback, he is made out of glass and cannot be depended on to come in and potentially save a season, which he was asked to do this year. So I wonder what the future will be next for him. But similar to what has gone through Tyrod Taylor's entire career, where he was the Browns quarterback, then Baker Mayfield comes in, he's the Chargers quarterback, then Justin Herbert comes in. Well, he was a Giants quarterback, he got hurt, and then Tommy Devito, Tommy Cutlets, the passing paisano, came in. Undrafted rookie Tommy Devito ended up playing in 9 games with 6 games started, where he went 3 wins and 3 losses. Interestingly enough, he was also sacked in 6 games. He was sacked 37 times. Let's think about that, because in 6 games, Daniel Jones was sacked 30 times. So between 2 guys in 12 games, they were sacked 67 times. And this led to, like the 2 I mentioned previously, a lot of injuries. Luckily for Tommy DeVito, and I think this is the difference between DeVito and Tyrod Taylor, is there was an age gap. Tommy DeVito doesn't have the wear and tear on his body at this point of his career that Tyrod Taylor has. And I will say, for the 3 games that Tommy DeVito did win in a row, it was pretty fun, and it was some of the highlights of the Giants season. His parents in the crowd, the whole storyline. And I do think, as much as I do love it, it definitely got a little enough of it at the end. I'm sure at the end of the day, all he wanted to do truly was play football and have a golden opportunity to play his hometown team. And a lot of that, I think, was overshadowed by a lot of off the field stuff and in the crowd and his annoying agent, where I think if he would go back in time a little bit, he would try to kind of tone them down, especially the agent, to say, let's focus on what I need to do to be a successful quarterback in this league, because Tyrod Taylor could come back next year. Daniel Jones should be back by training camp of next year, and I want to be included in the conversation for potential starter in 2024. I'm not sure if he has earned that at this point, but he will probably start a bunch of preseason games next year, or it'll be one of those things where he's cut in the preseason and they make way for someone else. And I do think the Giants moving forward into the 2024 season need to find an answer at quarterback. You are paying Daniel Jones a substantial amount next season, but after that, he is gone. And I think this is going to be an opportunity where Brian Daboll will be able to, with the help of Joe Schoen, really focus in and get the guy that they want for the proper rebuild. If not, if they don't do that and they continue to ride with Jones and he continues to flounder, especially being 26 years old, coming off an ACL injury with a crap offensive line, issues will still continue to happen. And for Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen, if they are able to draft a young quarterback, that buys them years. Because if you start losing games with a young quarterback, you could put the blame on this, saying, oh, we just drafted a young quarterback. What would you expect us to do? He's learning, he's getting better. It will allow them more years of trying to figure it out. There are going to be some changes. You will see Daniel Jones back at some point next year for sure, whether that's in a starting role or maybe a starting role where they're trying to ramp up someone else younger. It's going to be interesting to see how the draft shakes out, but I think regardless of if Jones comes back as a starter or with the key role to play, it'll be interesting to see if they take a swing on a veteran free agent quarterback who could be capable to potentially win games or challenge for the starting role if they think it's worth it, if they don't draft the quarterback. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about the biggest weakness for the Giants quarterback was in 2023 and what you want to see moving forward in 2024, whether it be free agency through the draft. Thank you guys for watching.